why there is very less or almost zero involvement of big battery manufacturers. I mean, it's yes, I mean, they are producing this, and there is a very very high dependence on third party cell imports, and which ultimately controls the supply chain of the batteries, right? And so how do you, I mean, see this going to affect Sheru, or in terms of EV as a whole? Will it become that the next fight would be on the lithium, or kind of batteries import, or how do you see this changing?
Okay, so one thing to understand over here is the infrastructure. When we talk about charging infrastructure as a whole, or the battery infrastructure, whatever it is, everything is not this is actually a solution play. This is no longer A to B, a manufacturer's DNA kind of a question. It is not that you're going to set up a station and people will come. Okay. Accessibility solutions need to be designed and built on top so that people are able to interact with it. It's not so hence it's not ideally suited. This kind of job is not ideally suited for a manufacturer. The DNA of a manufacturer has always been this is the piece of technology that I need to replicate at a certain rate, and there is some part of the revenues that is given to R&D to actually make that product from 95 to 99%, right? To the crux of it all, right? But over here, there is, just because you set up a charger which might be compatible with the, I don't know, the Indian standards or the Chinese standards, the GB standards or the European standard, or maybe all of them. How do you interact with it? How does a person use it? How do you lock it, unlock it? I mean, there are a plethora of technical challenges around it. So it's accessibility solutions that people are afraid of. That's what you need to solve. So that's why I think big battery manufacturers are not coming in. Just one. Second is standards, right? So what to manufacture? 18650 cell, 26650, 32650, prismatic, which chemistry? NMC, which one? 311, 833, 323. I mean, which kind of there are LTO cells also. Which one would finally make sense? Where should I put 100 crore of my money to set up a plant, right? So those are things which come a little bit after the standards have been a little bit finalized. From you're coming back to your second question, how do I see this changing? So this is just starting up. This is like the issues that are there in every market, right? When it starts off, standards are not there. People are doing whatever they want to do. But I feel that there's going to be a multi-dimensional change. For the first part, I would say that on the government and on the government front, there would be a little bit of implementation of standards becoming more stringent or more followed, right? And then second, I think the PLI scheme. We all have heard about Tata Chemicals waiting for the PLI scheme to come in so that they can start investing in lithium-ion cell manufacturing facility, indigenous. And in the PLI scheme, if you so they're waiting for subsidies to be very specific towards the energy storage and EV based cells, right? So right now, what they have done is they have, I think, given off 18,000 crores for 50 gigawatt hour of storage capacity for advanced cell chemistries. So which is also an good enough incentive for anyone to begin, but I'm guessing not big enough for Tata. On the second dimension would be products, the product itself. So right now we are dependent on lithium-ion cell. Okay, now lithium-ion cell we say, but there is nickel, cobalt, manganese, lithium. Again, all of them are rare earth metals. So much so, cobalt is 60% of its product. It's produced in Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, right? All of lithium is being shared between three countries: Australia, Chile, and Argentina, right? So that's how rarefied and how the supply, the raw materials, that's how rarefied it is. And now people who are actually already at scale, take example for South Korea or China. So they are already at scale, so they are able to bargain better prices. So how would an incumbent, how would a person who is just starting up to put investments to compete with those rates, even if it's a Tata or a Reliance, or whatever you want to say. So maybe they might be waiting for a little stable of a technology, maybe sodium based, magnesium based, reflow. I don't know. So those are things that I feel would come in and they would drive the whole thing even further.